All right, I have started the recording.
Okay, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Thursday, January 11th, 2024 edition of the Iowa 911 Communications Council. If we could, Kara, could you give us a roll call of our council members, please?
Sure. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Chris Jasper.
Jasper's here.
All right. Jeff Miller.
Here.
Chair Rodgers here. George Griffith has retired, and we haven't heard anything about replacement, I don't think. Mike Bryant.
Here.
Eric Daw. Tracy Bearden.
Here.
Richard Pierce.
Here.
Rob Dennert.
Here.
Adam Welp.
Here.
Taylor Teeple. I'll go back. Eric Daw, are you on? You have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. Could I get a motion to approve today's agenda?
Jasper will motion to approve.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I will second.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And motion is approved. And likewise, can I get a motion to approve the December 14th, 2023 minutes?
Jasper will motion.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Pierce will second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Again, same sign. And motion is approved. Blake, do you have a report for us?
I do. Let me get the slides moving here. All right. Welcome again, everyone. Thanks for the flexibility on doing this in a remote fashion, and hope everyone stays safe the next 24, 36 hours with additional snow. First update is personnel related. Allie decided she wanted to go ahead and take a pretty good promotion within our department. So she is now the department public information officer. So she is not going to be overly involved in the 911 program going forward. You might see her name pop up periodically still, but really good for her, but definitely a loss for the 911 program. We will be looking to post that position here in a couple weeks still. So if you know of anyone or may be interested in that, I will definitely send out the job posting when that is been finalized and available. So again, definitely wish her best of luck, and I get to keep working with her on the legislative side of things as well. That's part of her new duties as well. So she'll be helping me on my legislative role, which kind of is a nice little segue into a couple bills to bring to your attention. House Study Bill 522 and Senate Study Bill 3030 are law enforcement academy bills that changes some of the terminology to public safety telecommunicators. The previous language, I think, was something along the lines of communications officers, which was language that wasn't really used elsewhere in code. So that just looks to standardize terminology in that particular code section. The other one that I wanted to bring to your attention, and I certainly won't plan to bring this up on a regular basis. I just wanted to make everyone aware that this is out there. This is a Department of Public Safety bill. House Study Bill 545 and Senate Study Bill 3026 looks to enhance and increase penalties for basically swatting incidents. So those type of false reports that are typically associated with swatting. So wanted to make everyone aware of that. Again, not sure that I'll follow those through to their completion in this setting. If you are interested in those type of things, by all means, continue to update or get updates however you do that legislatively as well. If there is anyone from ILEA or DPS that wishes to talk further on those, when I am done with my briefing, And anyone wants to talk further on those, you're more than welcome to, but I'm going to keep rolling for now. I did send out some information at the upcoming January FCC open meeting towards the end of the month. There are a couple 911 related items that may be of interest. One is a requirement for cellular providers on wireless calls and real-time text to provide location-based routing. So that would be just better routing associated with the call. The other one is the NORS and DERS system. Those are outage reporting tools, both on Sunny Sky outing, but then also disaster reporting. Right now, those are not a requirement. While most carriers do participate in those programs, the FCC is looking to make those systems a required reporting. So in my mind, both of those are good things, but again, stay tuned to kind of the FCC open meeting at the end of the month to see if they do indeed make both of those requirements finalized and publish those rules. Shortly after this council meeting, I will be sending out volume 3 of the 911 newsletter with some topical items, just kind of a summary over the last quarter or so, in case you might have forgotten some of the items that we've sent out or just need a refresher. That'll be coming out shortly after the council meeting. Also, a snapshot at where we're at with forms. There are 13 outstanding expenditure collection forms. Again, the administrative deadline for that was January 1st. The legal deadline is the end of March. So at that point, we will start withholding surcharge. Right now, you're kind of in a grace period where you can get those reports submitted without penalty. So just please get those in as fast as you can. And you can see that there are still 12 outstanding service board membership forms as well. Looking at the GIS grants, another very successful quarter. Every county met the benchmarks for every month. So for the quarter, we ended up passing through $321,000. So we're still batting 1,000 here so far, halfway through the fiscal year. You do have one training application before you for consideration today. Van Buren County has requested $4,500 for the Healthy Dispatcher course Back to Basics. You can see if that is approved, there will be over $43,000 still remaining. An update on the shared services or statewide training update that was given a presentation a number of months ago. Again, that was kind of one of the projects Allie was working on. She's handed it off to me. We did have a pilot group that had access to that statewide training portal. They've provided feedback. We're taking a look at that. I would expect next month for a recommendation to come before the council on what to do with the statewide training portal. Again, as a reminder, while that's through the Zetron shared services contract, that training would be open and available to all PSAPs in the state, not just those on shared services. So again, next month, probably look for a recommendation on what to do with that proposal. Were there any questions for me or any follow-ups from anyone on any of the briefing that I've provided? All right, not hearing any. I will turn it over to Lynn for an update on Zetron shared services.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Happy New Year, everyone. Next slide, please. We're just coming off of the holiday freeze, so no real updates to report. We're planning out the 2024 deployments, and we got Decatur County scheduled to go live on February 28th. Next slide, please. That's the map. Hasn't changed since December. Next slide, please. And our next newsletter will be coming out in February. If you're interested in getting on the distribution list, it's lynn.warren@zetron.com. We automatically add people if they sign up for shared services, so no need to reach out to me if you have done that. Any questions for me? Thank you.
All right, and that concludes my portion of the briefing as well. So I will turn it over to the chair.
Okay, thank you, Blake. As mentioned, we do have a training fund request from Van Buren County, the Healthy Dispatcher Back to Basics, in an amount of $4,500. Is there anyone from Van Buren County that wishes to speak on this?
I am here, Robin Kovar. I'm the one requesting it.
Okay, would you like to tell us about it?
Well, I went to his class at the APCO there in the fall, and very informative. I really enjoyed it. And I just think a lot of dispatchers should hear his story. I think it would do them a lot of good. And we are opening it up to the entire state of Iowa, so anybody can come.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Okay, hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the Van Buren County request at $4,500.
So move, Bearden.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Jasper will second.
Very good. Any discussion? All those in favor signal by saying aye.
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 Against, same sign. And motion is approved. Thank you. Okay, on to technical advisories. Do we have any technical advisories to present? Okay, hearing none. Could we get an update from Iowa Statewide Interoperable Communication Systems Board? Ms. Nichols, are you on?
I am. Thank you, Chair. Short report today. Happy New Year, everyone. The INTD course to be held at Westcom January 30th is full with the 20 max people. I'm going to leave the link open, and if anyone wants to be put on a waiting list in case people drop out, that's how we're moving forward with that. And then in this year, we have TA requests in for a COML and a COMX so far. So just keep those on your radar if those are something that interests you. And nothing new on the training side. All of our trainings are available online at the ISIX link, and I would ask that you take a look at those and see if they could be part of your agency's training program. And then I'll just give a quick update on the REM CDP grant. That's the Rural Emergency Communications that we're rolling out in Region 1. We're going to start with site visit in Carroll County later this month. Then we'll move on to Calhoun County in February, and in the next coming months hit the rest of the 14 counties in Region 1. So if you're interested in anything going on with that grant, that's also listed on our website. Or if you hear people talking about it, you can send them my way for more information. We do have some promotional materials going out, some flyers, and a very short 1-minute video that's explains where you can find more information also. So if you see people or hear people talk about that, please send them my way. And I have nothing else for the group unless there's any questions for me.
Okay, thank you. All right, moving on. An update from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. Mr. Myers, are you on?
Yes, I am, Mr. Chair. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, good morning.
All right, good morning. And good morning, Iowa 911 Council. I appreciate the time today, as always. Wanted to start off the report this month with a new product that was just released from CISA. It's called Personal Security for Critical Infrastructure Workers. This is kind of a unique product from us in that it does mirror a lot of the counterintelligence training that we receive as CISA employees. And a lot of what is discussed in this paper likely applies to those of you that work in a PSAP setting, those of you that work with communication systems, or those of you that are perhaps service providers for public safety agencies. You're all considered part of the big critical infrastructure machine, and you all perform a vast array of tasks and services that help us run key systems that are essential for modern American life. Now, if you want to know if you should be considering yourself in this role, there's a couple of key questions to ask yourself. Is that, does your job or career make you an attractive target for someone to look at? If you are a systems provider, naturally, you may be an attractive target to become some sort of insider threat, so you need to be aware of that. If you are a systems owner or someone that manages a system, is there a specific threat or credible evidence that may suggest that there may be a risk to you, your personal history, and also your personal visual identifiers? Do you display any group or affiliations on your vehicle or at your residence that would make you an attractive target? This is all about personnel security, because in a sense, personnel security does equate to critical infrastructure security. So this paper is out and available. It's a fairly quick read and beneficial for anybody in your organization that may serve this type of role. On the next slide, we do have another product that has been released that we wanted to talk about today. Did we miss a slide, Blake? If not, we can, that's it. We do have a new paper out as well for emergency communications and extreme weather. This had some feedback from several states, including Iowa. And this talks about how extreme weather can impact systems, especially those that have components that are exposed to the outdoors. It covers winds, drought, flooding, and cold. And there's some unique things that have popped up elsewhere in the country that may be beneficial for this group to consider. One of the things that I found most interesting was how dry, cracked ground can affect guy anchors for large tower sites elsewhere in other states. This also covers phases of communication loss and recovery during disasters. What we've learned in other states is that as restoration begins and debris cleanup begins, sometimes restoration is impacted by that debris cleanup, and this paper outlines some things to be aware of with that as well. Again, that is available on the website. If you want any of these documents sent to you, just let me know. Otherwise, regional items of note, we did have a PSAP cybersecurity webinar yesterday in Missouri that was fairly well attended. We also have a virtual COML coming up in Nebraska this weekend and then next weekend. We've taken the course and divided it amongst 2 weekends to help expand the reach to volunteers. This is an experimental delivery, and I will let everybody know how that goes, as this may be an option for Iowa as well if FEMA EMI deems this is something that can be repeated. Otherwise, that's all I have, Mr. Chair. Thank you for the time today, and I can take any questions.
Okay, thank you. All right, moving on. Do we have any updates from the 34A Administrative Code Committee or the Baseline Knowledge for 911 Communications Professionals Committee?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Can you hear me?
I can. Good morning.
Excellent. Thank you. I'm sorry. I'm remote from Dallas today, and the weather is not obviously great. As of right now, we don't have any updates. We're still on hold. We've got a upcoming telecommunicator board meeting, and hopefully with the FCC coming in, we'll have some updates for next month. But as of right now, we have no updates.
Okay, I'm going to have a little something for you here in just a minute.
Excellent.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
You bet. Any legislative issues? Okay, do we have any information sharing by council members? Okay, then I'll move on to the little note in the new business, and just to go over this quickly, it has come to my attention that there has been some conversation, at least on a conversational level, about the training programs provided by ILEA that involve 911. And I really do believe this is in the discussion forum only, but a question was raised is, first of all, is ILEA the right place for this training? I think in some cases it probably is, and maybe in other cases it might not, depending on what discipline you're active in. What the question was is, could the 911 Communications Council play a more important role in this, in either being part of ILEA's training as far as what type of training should we see? You know, the beauty of our council is it's so well represented by everyone who touches 911, from fire, EMS, EMA, of course, law enforcement. But there certainly has been a emphasis on the law enforcement side, just because of generally, in many cases, where those centers are housed, as well as where the training takes place. So are we doing this right? And is it time for at least a discussion to see if it could be done in a different way. Maybe there's no changes to be made. Maybe there's some slight ones. Maybe there's a major overhaul. I don't know. But I think the time is right to have that discussion. And what I'd like to see is the two committees really that we just heard from really would be the perfect place to have this conversation, because I think you're both talking about obviously training, but you're also probably talking about code changes as well. So I'm just introducing this idea at this point, and I'll be in contact with our committee members about this coming up very shortly, but just throwing out the idea that this is something that will be discussed here in the coming weeks and months probably. Any questions or comments on that subject?
I would just like to ask if it's possible for that committee, you know, we have a telecommunicator training advisory board for ILEA as well, which I think some of the folks here are a part of. I am, Blake is. I guess I would just ask that if that committee is going to meet and discuss, if they could coordinate that with that group so we're not both doing the same work, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. I think that's a perfect fit, and it would be remiss if we did not conduct it that way. So thank you.
Mr. Chair, if I may, this is Rhonda Broaddus. What I would do is plan on sending out an email both to the 34A and the baseline knowledge as well as telecommunicator board, just so that we can make sure that we're all on the same page to echo Chris's commentary there.
Right.
If there is anyone that would like to participate that is not on my list, if they could maybe send me an email. And if my email is just rbroaddus@marshalltown-ia.gov. So that way we can make sure that we have everyone involved in that.
You bet. And like I said, I'll be in contact here in the next coming days about this as well, and we can talk more about this. Any other comments or questions?
Yeah, sorry, I popped in a little late. I was just wondering, I'm kind of catching up reading through, and I was wondering, have you guys ever thought about implementing some AI into the architectures or anything like that? I mean, I have a bunch of models available and I'm willing to donate them.
I can tell you that I personally have not, but I'm probably not the person to ask. Maybe someone else can shed light on that.
Hey, Lance, this is Blake DeRucci. I'm the 911 program manager. I'm happy to answer your question. First, can I just for the record understand who you represent?
I work for Brady Contracts. I'm an affiliate with Department of Homeland Security and a few other agencies.
Is that the U.S. Department of Homeland Security?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So yeah, we actually had some opportunity with our 911 system provider for those interested to work with AI on to assist with administrative line answering of phone calls that way. So it's been thrown out there kind of as a pilot group for those that might be interested.
That sounds great.
Okay.
Mr. Chair, this is Mike Bryant.
Yes, Mike.
Maybe along legislative issues that we jumped over, but with the recent conversation that you were talking about under the new business, might be a good time to mention that another very good selling point to keep the council in existence when people are talking to their legislators, that hopefully we're still around come July 1st, and we can continue to pursue these improvements or I guess revamping.
Absolutely, Mike. And I echo that. And as I look at my screen, I see 68 people taking part in this discussion right now, or at least tuned in. And it just goes to show how important this meeting is, whether it's virtual or in person. And there's so much that we can contribute to 911 and already do and should continue to. So thank you, Mike. I agree with you completely. Anything else? Okay, so moving on, I don't have any old business or travel requests. Do I have any business from the floor? Anyone joining us virtually here that has anything they'd like to discuss? Okay, not hearing any, then I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Pierce will make the motion.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Dennard.
Thank you. All those in favor signal by saying aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Okay, we're adjourned. Everybody be safe. We have some snow coming, so be careful out there. Thanks a lot for joining us today.